Content review, content review. I'm here to give my data to you. Hey guys, it's Evan, aka 3Van, aka Your Man 3Van here, owner of Unpromoted Sounds, host of this channel. And if you weren't able to grasp it from that little intro I just did, I promise you I'm an artist. I've decided to start making content every week that shares the data and information that I've been able to gather through my own marketing and music activities for my solo project, Your Man 3Van. And I've decided to make this information public to you guys here on the channel because I know that there's people who are building brands, building their own content, figuring out who they are as artists, and don't really have an idea of how to do it, and don't really have the money to spend it on taking these marketing risks that I'm taking right now. Me being the sacrificial lamb, of course, spending my own money to grab this data on your behalf, allows me to share what is working and what isn't working each and every week, so you guys can make these decisions headed into the next week for yourself. Not to toot my own horn or anything, but I really feel like, sharing the data that I've paid to get is worth at least hitting or considering to hit the subscribe button, saving you guys money as well too, saving you guys time. So once you've done that, we'll get right into the insights for the first week of January. That's okay. That's okay. We can wait. We can wait till you press that button. It's okay. I got all day. Maybe not all day, actually. I have a call later, but yeah, I'll just assume you've hit the button and we'll move on right now. So for these videos, we're going to look at the 4 channels that I use to promote and advertise my music on. Those channels being Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and then once a month, Facebook, because I don't really use Facebook, but my content gets posted on Facebook automatically from Instagram. So we'll take a look at what those insights are leading to as well once a month. And furthermore, we're going to break it down through the 3 sub-brands that I own as part of the sort of Your Man 3Van umbrella. Of course, there's Your Man 3Van, my solo project. There's Unpromoted Sounds as well too, but there's also my other brand, Crossover Everything, which I'm also going to talk about a little bit in terms of insights as well. Having these 3 brands gives us the chance to get different data across different niches and see for myself how I can further penetrate those niches better and where I can pivot as well too. So without any further delays, let's get into it. For Instagram, I was able to, and this is actually pretty big, I was able to secure 100,000 plus impressions and views on Your Man 3Van. Of course, this was pay to play. This was me running ads. This was me running promotions, but I've never actually seen it done at this. And this was only in 3 days of the ad running, with it paused a majority of the day as well too. It was at 22K on the first day, and it was at 88K on the second day. And then it eclipsed 100,000 later that day as well too. For Crossover Everything and Unpromoted Sounds, both of these brands were promoted using unpaid methods, just uploading clips of the content from those pages. And for Unpromoted Sounds, it's been able to gather 1.7K views, just north of that on Instagram so far. And then for Crossover Everything, it's been just under 1,000 views unpaid as of the moment. The general takeaways of what works and what hasn't worked on Instagram this week has been this. As much as Instagram wants to keep viewers on their app, they don't reward longer form content that does that through the algorithm. And obviously for that, we pivot to keep our clips under a minute in length. And I have tested this as well too. On Crossover Everything, I had a visualizer uploaded for my freestyle, Christ Trending freestyle, on that channel in full length. So the full 2 minutes and 30 seconds of that song was posted onto Instagram in full length. And it only did about, I believe, under 100 views, if I remember correctly, which is not great for a piece of content on Instagram, especially when it's sharing in a similar way to TikTok. So yeah, shifting to shorter clips, probably less than 30 seconds whenever possible, is a great way to do it. I would make that your longest form piece of content, at least I will for going forward. And another thing I've begun to realize is that the trial reels train has kind of left the station and is really doing nothing now. Like, I had posted 2 trial reels for my song Dead on Arrival, and they did 200 views each. And then the third one I posted did 20, that's right, 20 views. Take what you want from that and decide for yourself if it's worth it for you. At the end of the day, it is 20 new people. But again, you can probably reach 20 new people just by posting it on your main timeline. So I'll stick with them another week and report back. But again, I'm not super heavily optimistic about the future of trial reels at the moment. Thirdly, Meta has a new mixed engagement feature for promoting and running ads that can get you in front of a lot of people if your targeting is solid. Reminder that you'll run up a lot of views and impressions, but not a lot in terms of actual metrics like likes, comments, and others, since it is a campaign that's optimized mainly for views. At the end of the day, people aren't really engaging a whole lot with content in terms of comments, likes. I will scroll through my favorite artists' content as well too, and like I hardly ever drop a comment, I hardly ever drop a like, and if I'm doing it like this, there's a good chance that a lot of other people are doing it the same way too. So let's look at the next platform in terms of TikTok. And for TikTok, it was all organic. All three platforms, it was just all organic promotion. Your Man 3Van clocked in at just north of 1K views. Unpromoted Sounds clocked in less than 1K views just because I was leveraging longer clips. And Crossover Everything clocked in at about over 1K views as well too. And again, this was all unpaid promotion. And the general takeaways this week from TikTok have been that, again, as we know, TikTok takes the first 5 posts of your content to really learn your niche, learn who you're trying to get in front of, before determining who it's actually going to continue posting your content in front of. So next week will be very interesting for me to see as a creator, because that'll be where it's starting to get in front of the people that are going to engage with it a lot more. Views are probably going to dip a little bit because it knows who to put it in front of, which may require promotion, paid promotion to get it in front of for more views. But at the end of the day, next week will be interesting to see how the algorithm responds to this content being continued to post. I found that education content, like the stuff I post here on Unpromoted Sounds, or even the sort of Bible study seminars I post through Crossover Everything, it gets a lot more follows and likes, but music gets a lot more views. So keep that in mind. It depends on what you're going to get. And it makes a lot of sense. People who are seeing educational stuff, they want more of it in their feed. If their For You page is centered around more getting tips and tricks for whatever niche or skills they're trying to learn, they are going to comment, they are going to like, they are going to save, so that makes a lot more sense. Whereas suppose someone might see a song once on their feed and be like, oh, okay, it is what it is. Which is why you have to keep posting your music so consistently, because repetition is such an important factor in actually turning somebody from just being in the crowd to an actual fan. And for next week as well too, I'm planning to adventure for Your Man 3Van into paid promotion as well through TikTok. I've done it on Instagram this week, so it makes sense to shift it to TikTok as well too and see which of the two is a little bit more responsive. So stay tuned for that. And finally, we're going to look at YouTube as well today. And YouTube as well, all unpaid, no really paid promotion going on here. Your Man 3Van has been able to do, Your Man 3Van has done less than 1,000 views. Unpromoted Sounds, fortunately, thanks to you guys' support, has been doing above 1,000 views in the first week, which I'm very grateful for. And Crossover Everything actually surprised me by doing over 2,000 views, but those 2,000 views were all from one short. That was a trailer for a video I did, strangely enough. You don't often see trailers actually getting more views than the content that subsequently follows it. And the general takeaways from YouTube, and I don't say this lightly, Google ads are generally very, very mid in terms of what they offer. And yes, I realize that they're going to be seeing my content, but it's the truth. They really can't compete with TikTok and Meta in terms of reach right now. YouTube viewers are generally looking for metrics more than anything than views, for validation for the quality of the content. So paid ads that boost views are usually pretty iffy, because you might see a YouTube video with like 30,000 views and like 5 likes, and you're like, this seems a little iffy. The plan on YouTube for myself is to continue pumping out shorts, funneling them through my long form content, and keeping them moving. YouTube takes a lot longer to push your content in front of more people organically. If you've noticed through YouTube verification, there's an option that says continue to verify my content organically, which is over the next 6 months. If you're consistent, YouTube will continue to see your content and then finally verify you, if you don't want to do it through like phone number or like ID or something like that, which really stresses to me that YouTube is still focused on supporting people who are staying on the platform longer than those who are just there for short-term games. So stay consistent on YouTube and keep pushing. So surprise, surprise, paid promotion is the way to go for increasing your engagement. I know, shocker, right? I believe that this is just going to be a temporary move for me, or at least I'd like it to be a temporary move for me, because I'm not trying to funnel all my money into ads, in all honesty, until my account can start gaining some traction organically. I want you to bear in mind, too, that once you pay for promotion once, these services will mark your account as someone who is more likely to keep paying in the future. So that might affect your organic reach. It might affect your ability to get in front of people without paid support, which is why it's important to run ads for more than just views and engagement. You want people who are going to be customers. You want people who are going to be subscribers. You want people who are going to be followers that keep showing up and validating your content. So don't run views just for reach. Run views to actually generate a relationship with somebody who's new to your content, maybe. That's it for this week's weekly wrap-up. I hope it provided you with some great insights. Let me know if that changes your approach going into the next week for your own content. Let me know if there's any strategies you've been working on or workshopping that you'd like to see me try out as well too. I would love to try out your promotion strategies and see how well they do. But yeah, until then, I appreciate you guys for checking in with the content as well. And I will see you guys in the next weekly review or the next long form content. So yeah, peace out.